Hi, this is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're listening to the Going in Raw podcast, because Joey Janela always goes in raw.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Going in Raw.
Hey everyone, Kenny Omega here. In case you didn't know, we have an awesome kick-butt show called Stephen Larson's Going in Raw, and they're going to be supporting AEW every week amongst many other things. Goodbye and smooch. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, little notify bell next to it.
Yeah.
And then click on all to make sure you're always notified when we go live, when we have new episodes, whatever. That's how you find out what's going on, what the news is.
What the deal is.
That's right. We're also available if you enjoy watching this podcast. You can also enjoy listening to this podcast wherever podcasts can be found.
Yeah, basically everywhere.
And so if you're doing that, it's a free and easy way to support Going Around. Just leave us a review, a rating, or a comment. If you like the show, just all you got to do is just go to where you review show, just put good. Just put good, or just like little thumbs up, the thumbs up emoji. They don't have like a half-assed one like Orange Cassidy's. Anyways, so yeah, that's all good stuff. And then we're gonna do our NXT Takeover Portlandia live stream Sunday.
And then recap the follow. Matt Chat is gonna be up Saturday.
Okay, yeah,
we'll do that. Matt Chat Saturday. We're still dealing with this bug, whatever it is, and it's
also Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. So there's a lot going on. Man, I got no energy.
Yeah,
I don't know what this is about this thing.
It's that third taco that you didn't get. What a tragedy that was at lunchtime.
I was so looking forward to that third one.
I hate that. I hate when that happens.
They got the order wrong, or I said 2 instead of 3. I don't know what the case is.
The worst.
I look in that bag like there's supposed to be another bag underneath the bag with that magical third taco. Because
right now you're only 2/3 of the way full.
No, well, the first thing I said when I came in is like, oh, I just spent this money to be hungry again in an hour.
Yeah.
And that's with one more taco, I thought, in my tummy.
Yeah.
Now there's only 2 instead of 3 chicken soft tacos in my tummy, and I never got the point of feeling full for like an hour. I didn't get the sensation of fullness at all. I'm still hungry.
You know, the worst was a couple weeks ago. I came in here, I think maybe to do a SmackDown stream. I don't know what it was, but I went to Del Taco on the way over here. And Del Taco's near my house, but it's not close to here, so it's not like I can just run back over there.
Yeah.
But one of the strengths of Del Taco is the variety they offer in their menu.
Yeah, man. That's why it's the best.
I like their little 99-cent cheeseburgers. I can just get one of those and then a couple of soft chicken tacos, right?
Yeah.
So I think I did that. I got like 3 soft chicken tacos and then a burger, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to make excuse for myself. I'm a fat ass. What do you want? So I get here and I unpack and I start to eat one of the tacos. I'm like, what is this? One of their strengths from Del Taco, one of their weaknesses rather, is their ground beef. It's not terribly good. Yeah. That's why I like the chicken.
Yeah, I don't ever get ground beef at either Taco Bell or Del
Yeah,
Taco.
the ground beef is not very good. And so I was like, what? This is ground beef. And then I look in there. I'm like, well, what else did they get wrong? They gave me 4 regular ground beef tacos. There's no cheeseburger in there. There's no chicken taco.
They gave you someone else's order.
Yeah. Who the heck orders 4 ground beef tacos?
I don't know.
I'm sure the same people who think to themselves, who the heck would order 3 grilled chicken tacos and a cheeseburger?
Is the person who helped me at Taco Bell said before I completed my order, would you like anything else? And I sat there for a good 30 seconds thinking.
Oh, man.
Do I add Frito burrito to this order or no?
Oh.
And if I had, I would be just full enough
to
get me through the rest of the day, so I'd have to eat anything else till I got home.
It's been a while since I've had a Frito burrito.
I know, and I'm not feeling well, and I thought maybe I should treat myself.
Yeah. What
but I didn't,
bummer.
And now I'm suffering for it.
Oh, man. Yeah, Del Taco's fries are flipping great, man. I love those. Anyways. So, yeah, let's talk about AEW.
It was a fun show.
I'll be honest with you, man. I thought that it was probably literally the best show they've ever done.
It was good.
In their relatively young time on TV.
I can't really think of one significant misstep in the entirety of the 2 hours. Like, the main event wasn't great. But then again, it's also 2 guys wrestling with eye patches on. They're probably not, well, Mox is probably used to doing that, but.
Well, there's really only one other thing we can compare it to, right?
Yeah, the blindfold match.
Blindfold match.
And then they were both like, really selling the effects of wrestling with one eye, or in Mox's case, no eyes at the very end. It was, but even the blindfold match, that gets dumped on a lot. I actually thought that was pretty creatively put together.
Yeah, I know. It's actually it gets a harder knock than it deserves.
Yeah.
No, I thought this was fine. I mean, it was what it was. I thought it was kind of funny because maybe you can say that the juxtaposition with how dead serious and awesome Santana's interview was.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Juxtaposed with sort of the goofiness of their...
Well, even just the video afterwards, that Darby Allin thing where he kind of riffs on the Sammy Guevara, which is the Bob Dylan sign thing.
Yeah.
And the end of it, saying kissing Jericho's butt. This is like Sammy says, kissing Jericho's butt gave me herpes.
Yeah.
Like, he can't take that seriously.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know, man. I think AEW is really finding a great groove with sort of the serious and the goofy. I really love I love goofy in pro wrestling, man.
I mean, by and large, there wasn't a whole lot of goofy in this episode. There really wasn't.
Well, okay, so I don't know about necessarily goofy, but the Britt Baker thing, the comedy stuff. I thought that was so well. I thought it was great. She was so wonderful in it.
Yeah.
And then the eye stuff. They didn't really do much with the Page and the drinking stuff, did they? That's cool. I'm glad they sort of
after the match he just grabbed a beer and went through the crowd.
Yeah, they dial that back for a week or two. They got another huge match coming up next week.
Yeah, against
Lucha
Lucha Brothers.
Wow.
Another L for the Lucha Brothers.
That should be big time though. Yeah, probably.
It'd be great, but another L for the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, but Hangman is supremely over these. He's big over these.
And I was thinking about that yesterday. We derided AEW, maybe fairly, but maybe not, about their lack of real creative for Page at the beginning. But maybe I've mentioned this before, but without that kind of fallow period for him, both in terms of creative, in terms of his win-loss record, I don't know if this would be quite as impactful as it is now.
Well, possibly. Yeah, that's possible.
I'm not saying it was intentional.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was or not.
Yeah. Well, people want. I mean, the thing about Page is that people want to
Exactly. They want to like him.
They want to have something to really dig into with him, and now they do, and it's working wonders. Yeah, I thought last night's episode was really, really good. It kicked off with SCU getting their rematch against Kenneth Omega and Hangman Adam Page. And before the match begins, the Dark Order message played.
On Tron, yeah.
Yeah.
And Uno's like, hey, some Dark Order people might be closer than you think. And they're prepping for the arrival of the Exalted One, Matt Hardy. And they're going to wait to strike. And Daniels is like, hold on, I'm going to go backstage and check on things.
Yeah.
I'll be back, SCU, my friends. I'm going to go backstage and check on things.
Yeah. So we really need a power rank. You know what? What we should have done, I already made up the thumbnail, but we can do it also. We can do both of them. So in today's Friendo Club TV, available exclusively to patrons of $5 and up and YouTube channel members, we're going to power rank Jeff Cobb Dream Opponents.
Yeah.
However, power ranking who could be the Exalted One. Would it be great if the Exalted One was just a title bestowed upon a conglomerate of two men, Matt Hardy and Jeff Daniels. How much
Jeff Daniels?
Yeah, why not? Jeff Daniels, throw him in there. He's great. Haven't you seen the Newsroom?
He is great. Well, I saw one episode of Newsroom. It was kind of too much for me.
Yeah, the first one was way too. I hate that stuff. Odd misfire. That was Sorkin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just too much.
Yeah.
Alternate Universe Sorkin's no good. Matt Hardy and Christopher Daniels.
Jeff Daniels, hey. Be new.
Yeah. Hey, he was great in Looper.
Yeah, he was. He's great in everything.
How about Chris Daniels and Matt Hardy? How fun would it be for both those guys to be overacting the entire thing?
I thought they might show Christopher Daniels, member of Dark Order. You're like, oh, he's the Exalted One, but no, he's just joining on as a creeper.
Yeah.
And then Matt Hardy.
Yeah. What if Chris Daniels just wants to be like a hand?
Yeah,
he just wants to be a soldier.
Wants to be a drone.
Exactly. He's like, I don't want all the responsibility.
I don't want the responsibility to be higher power, Exalted One.
Give me one of those masks. So if I'm
just tired of walking out of the ring fake lip syncing.
Yeah.
To SCU's theme with that mic stand. It's so weird. I'm just tired of doing it. I just want to be just another soldier out here.
Yeah.
That's all I want to be.
I just want to coast.
I want the anonymity of wearing a mask.
He's like Kevin Spacey, an American
Beauty?
Beauty, yeah, where he just wants to be a drive-through worker. Enough with all this real estate stuff. I want to be a drive-through worker.
Yeah.
Joke's on him. Drive-through work is probably horrifying.
Yeah, I know.
You know, some guy comes up, orders 3 tacos, you put 2 in them, and they blast you on their platform, on their podcast.
Oh, I'm not blasting anybody. I mean,
what was the name of that person, Larson?
I don't know.
Where's your receipt? Let's find out.
I'm not going to put anybody on blast. Mistakes happen. I'm not blasting anybody. It's entirely possible, and I'm so worn out from being sick that I said 2 instead of 3. I might have heard 3 appear on my mouth. It might have been 2.
Oh, no.
And she even said, hey, review your order, make sure it's correct. I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Oh, you didn't review it.
No, I did, but I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure it's great.
I saw chicken soft tacos, iced tea. I was like, yeah, it looks good to me.
Yeah.
I didn't look at numbers.
Yeah, I always do. I'm like, oh, no, it only says 2. I want 3.
So out of it right now.
Give me more food.
Anyways, let's talk about this match because it was really good. SCU kind of working heel this match. So it starts with Kenny and Kazarian, and they shake hands. They're all buds. And then Kenny goes bounce off the ropes, and Scorpio Sky kicks him in the back, and Kenny's all like, "The heck, man! Thought we're friends." And then a little more action. Kenny boots Scorpio Sky off the apron, and he goes for a springboard then onto Scorpio Sky. Kazarian pulls him off the ropes, and then sends him in the ropes, and then Scorpio Sky boots Kenny in the face.
Ooh, yeah.
Things getting chippy. And SCU seem to be like super aggressive throughout. They go for SCU later. Page breaks it up. He and Kenny gets the double team offense in. They go for their finish. Kazarian breaks that up. Everybody else is out of the ring save for Kenny. He's trying for the Terminator tope. Scorpio Sky grabs his ankle as he's bouncing off the ropes. And then he gets in there, hits the tope on Page. And then Kenny comes in and lays out SCU with Terminator tope. He finally does it. And then Page and Omega have the advantage until Kenny's going for the you can't escape moonsault. Scorpio Sky gets his knees up. And then Page goes up top to do something. And then Kazarian pushes him off. And Page was selling that forever.
Yeah.
Because SCU just dominate the middle section of this match. They start working over Kenny's lower back. Kaz has him in some leg scissors. Kenny wants to tag because he's trying to power out. Page is still on the floor selling that bit where he got pushed off the top. Man, that really laid him out. He must this the spot equivalent of getting this bug that we're dealing with.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's hard to shake it off.
It is.
Anyways, Kenny escapes SCU, gets to the corner right as Page gets up on the apron. Hangman in. He clears the house. Goes for a buckshot lariat. Scorpio Sky avoids it. Kazarian drops him with the clothesline. SCU regain the advantage. They do the dual slingshot cutters. Those are amazing. Yeah, follows it with some double dragon sleepers, and then Kenny pushes Kazarian and Scorpio Sky to break that up. In the end, though, Omega and Page retain following their finish. I feel like that really hurts.
The V-trigger buckshot combo?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's great.
It's there's a double smack they do when they hit it.
Yeah.
Man.
It looks very effective.
And it sounds painful.
Yeah, it looks great.
Very loud
Sounds
smack.
Great. Yeah.
But so Kenny pins Kazarian after hitting that combo, and then right as the ref's hands counting 3, Kazarian reaches out and grabs the bottom rope.
Yeah,
that close to staving off defeat.
Yeah, and then we get a whole bunch of stuff going down because of course next week
is
tag team battle royal. Obviously SCU is probably going to be back into that.
Yeah, they are. They said whoever lost this was being that match. So Page goes to ringside, grabs someone's beer, and leaves with the crowd.
Yeah.
Kenny teleports out. He's gone. Dark Order hit the ring, surround it. Best Friends come in, so it's Best Friends and SCU. And then Butcher and the Blade, and then the Hybrid 2 come out. They're on the floor with all the Dark Order guys.
Yeah.
And the Young Bucks come out. They get in the ring with the faces. Huge brawl breaks out.
Boom.
Young Bucks clear the ring. And then they lay out everyone a couple of the top rope fun splashes to outside.
Except for Scorpio Sky. He's just sort of left standing there. Yeah. And then he does the thing where everybody else is down, so he goes, oh, and then he like goes up against the apron. It was great.
And then so that kind of dissipates a bit. And then Orange Cassidy, like Dark Order's still upset. Like Stu Grace is trying to get back in the ring.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy's on the ramp. He has a stare down with them. He does the hands and pockets thing. Young Bucks drop Stu and Uno with some super kicks. And this is all really nice and fun.
This is cool stuff.
Orange Cassidy gets in the ring with the Young Bucks and the Best Friends. And they do like the sweet shit music thing with him. That was funny. And then they all hug.
They put a little Young Buck thing on his head. And it's great. He's always so great. Like he always knows exactly when to sort of strike his little pose for the camera.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy. That's why like one of the reasons why he's so effective is that he just knows where the camera is and where to be for all that stuff to work so perfectly comedically.
His timing is perfect.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
It's like they put that headband on him. He doesn't rush it, but he doesn't wait too long. He just turns towards camera.
And he does that, and it's like in perfect sync with where the camera is like gonna be.
Yeah.
They do the big hug. It's really good stuff.
It is really good. It was fun. A lot of, and it's little moments like that I appreciate that they do the picture-in-picture commercial stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not essential.
Yeah.
But it gives you at home a fuller, the fuller experience.
Yeah.
You know, as is comparable to what you're going to get in a live setting.
Yeah.
And it's actually a pretty decent advertisement for going to the
It
live
is.
shows.
It's a good selling point for live shows. I thought there was one thing that like I'm still kind of torn on. And we'll just get to it when we get to it. Well, screw it. I'll just talk about it now. When Nyla Rose went backstage, you didn't need to hear the words with her and the rest of the women's division and Kenny, who they're obviously kayfabing as the booker for the women's division. After Nyla Rose won and she goes back there, it's picture in picture.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, it was great.
I must have walked.
It's picture in picture, and she goes back there and she's essentially rubbing this in everybody's noses. And I thought the moment, because the picture in picture is usually stuff that's like maybe a little bit more comedic, I thought this could have been a great moment for like it to be our full attention.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the subtext was fine.
Yeah.
Like you see what's going on. And I don't know. I thought it was a really, really cool moment that was relegated to picture in picture that maybe shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty cool, and
Yeah.
you didn't need the sound for it.
Yeah.
But it was good stuff. You should maybe go back and just check it
check it
because
out.
it's a really great little moment. Before we continue, though, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, ForHims.com. You know, Larson, 66% of men start losing their hair by the age of 35. And once you start noticing your hair up there going bye-bye, hey, man, it could be too late.
And the best way to prevent more hair loss, do something about it while you still got some hair up there. So don't turn to weird solutions or do nothing at all when you can turn to medicine and science with forhims.com, because they're your one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness.
Ooh, with forhims.com, you can be the best version of yourself with licensed doctors and FDA-approved products to help treat your hair loss. We're talking prescription solutions backed by science.
Science. Hims was created by a dude who knew that some men's health conversations easier had online than in person. So with Hims, you don't have to stress about any more awkward in-person doctor visits or wasting time waiting in line at the pharmacy. ForHims.com connects you with real doctors. All you got to do is answer a few questions. A doctor will review your responses. If they determine it's right for you, can prescribe you medication to treat your hair loss is sent directly to your door. You don't have to go anywhere.
Nope.
It's great. It's completely confidential and totally discreet.
So dive into 2020 hair first. Right now, our listeners can get started with their first month free. Go to forhims.com/GIR. That's forhims.com/GIR. Prescription requires an online consultation with a physician who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Offer valid only if prescribed. 3-month minimum subscription. Additional restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Remember, that's forhims.com/GIR.
Somebody mentioned here in the chat that JR referred to the Young Bucks as the Bucks of Youth.
Correct.
I noticed that too, which is of course
And Matt
something
Hardy commented on it on Twitter because someone asked him about it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, JR's helped me a lot. I don't have a problem with him saying that.
Are they going too heavy with the Matt Hardy interaction? Is that just a big red herring right there? Is it going to be somebody else?
Could be.
Christopher Daniels?
Maybe it's Lance Archer.
Lance
There's
Archer?
Rumors that he could be going to AEW.
Brody Lee?
Brian Cage.
Yeah. Boy, that'd be something else with Brian Cage. That big dude.
Imagine if all those guys signed with AEW, man.
Yeah.
Haas division, full
New
effect.
Haas division, exactly. They're going to have to get a mid-card title at that point.
Yeah, man.
Whatever revolutionary thing Cody's talking about better be darn good.
Yeah.
Anyways, after that we
Haas
had
division.
Haas division. We had a Santana interview.
This was great.
This was really well done. It was well staged. It was him and JR in the middle of the ring.
Empty arena.
Empty arena prior to the taping or prior to the show. And he talks about, JR asked him, you mentioned taking Moxley to a dark place. What is this dark place you're talking about? And Santana talks about his lowest moment 10 years ago, living in a BS basement apartment in the Bronx. He's broke, no job, no prospects. And then he talks.
He calls his dad.
Yeah, he calls his dad. And
like
he says,
3 a.m, he says.
Yeah, and he says, and he picked up like he always did. And he's like, I see nothing for my future. And his dad said, well, welcome to my world. He goes on to explain that his dad was started to lose his sight at the age of 14. And by the time he was 25, he was completely blind. And, it was obvious the emotion was all just, coursing through him because he was choking up a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really well done. Mm-hmm. And then he says his dad was taken from him unexpectedly.
Yeah. And that just happened within the last 2 months or so. Yeah.
And so JR asked him, should Jericho be to blame for all this? And Santana was like, no, we gave everything to Mox. Mm-hmm. It's all his fault, and tonight he'll know what it's like to be in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was really well done.
It was. After that, you sort of mentioned this Darby Allin video package. So he talks about how
sound like he has the same thing that we've been dealing with.
Yeah, right. He's been over to. I'm telling you, man, trying to wake up from I took the smallest dose of NyQuil last night, but waking up, I got 8 solid hours of sleep.
It's the hardest thing, man. I could have slept another 3 hours this morning.
Yeah, and my wife gives me so much crap because what we do, like our routine is, I'll wake up at 7, I'll get Bama her cereal, and then these days, because of the NyQuil, I hop back into bed until I got till 7:30. I can get dressed quick to take Bama to school, so I'll just get back in there. And then, of course, Lacey, she can't leave well enough alone. She has to start bugging me. She's like, "Oh, you're going back to sleep? Okay." She comes and starts hugging me and pushing me around, and she's a bully, man. I'm like, I'm messed up.
Yeah,
let me sleep.
Let me recover. So I've been taking the NyQuil things for a week. I don't know if you're supposed to take them that long. It's because
I might keep on because the sleep is really good.
It is good.
It's deep sleep.
But here's the thing. I think I've been taking them so long that one of the benefits of NyQuil is it helps you sleep, helps you get to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, shave the latter half of that because it helps me sleep, but it doesn't help me get to sleep anymore.
Oh, interesting.
It's like the last 3 nights been laying in bed. It's like I can't sleep.
Oh, no, man. I knock
for
out.
20 minutes. I'm laying
Hardcore.
there. 20, 30 minutes.
I've been on this stuff for 2 weeks now. Yeah. It tastes like, it's weird.
Why don't you take the pills?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just used to taking the shots.
You don't have to taste anything.
Really? The pills just don't taste like that?
No.
Maybe that's why you're having a hard time getting to sleep. Maybe the shots are more effective.
No, because before it wasn't a problem. It's just because I think I'm getting used to it.
Dayquil and NyQuil, the actual on-brand NyQuil and
yeah,
Dayquil,
you have to go with the name brand.
They taste like crap,
They
though.
totally do, man.
But Winco brand might be less effective, but it actually tastes pretty good.
No, yeah, it probably is less effective.
Anyways, Darby Allin's video package. It was all in black and white. He was talking about getting his throat crushed by a skateboard, and then he challenges Sammy to a match at Revolution.
And then says he got herpes from kissing Jericho's butt.
I don't really think is that scientifically a thing? I mean, if there's an open herpes sore on a butt,
and you kiss it, yeah, it's possible.
Then yeah, I think you probably can. Then you get an open sore of yourself.
Yeah, but just just from being a butt kisser, in a metaphorical sense, I don't think it works.
I think he might have got that some other way. In any event.
Anyway, Sammy Guevara had a match
next. Darby Allin has herpes apparently.
No, it's Sammy.
Oh, right. He's saying Sammy did.
Because he had a little picture of Sammy and Sammy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it was.
So, yeah. Man.
Anyways, next, Sammy had a match against Dustin. This was awesome, as one would expect.
This is a terrific match.
Dustin truly is a natural, man. Dude's been wrestling for 30 years.
31 years.
So
he's been wrestling
wrestles like he's in his 20s.
Yeah, it's weird.
Man, he's having better matches now than he did 20 years ago.
I go down there and get that stem cell treatment. I take stem cells from live babies. Oh, Dustin, wow.
I don't think he does that.
That's horrible.
That is horrible. Anyways, Dustin starts fast. Sammy slips out of the ring. He's like, all right, I don't want to wrestle this guy anymore. He's like 70 years old, and he's awesome.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
He and Hager make their way towards the ramp. Dustin meets him over there, drops Sammy with the clothesline, and Dustin gets in Hager's face. He has beef with him because he broke his arm. Mm-hmm. Sammy tries to sneak attack him. Dustin just clocks him instead. Sammy gets back in the ring. Dustin follows. Hager grabs his ankle. This allows Sammy a window to take advantage of that. He gets the upper hand, sends Dustin out of the ring, hits a suicide dive. He gets back in the ring and argues with Aubrey Edwards, the ref. Meanwhile, they don't really show this. I'm just piecing this together. Hager sends Dustin into the timekeeper area.
Yeah.
You just see Dustin over there.
Yeah.
Sammy's in the ring, so piece it together. Hager's responsible.
Yeah.
So Sammy goes for a springboard move. Dustin catches that, hits a flatliner, starts his comeback, hits some clotheslines, some punches, runs into a boot. Sammy charges. You get a patented Dustin Rhodes power slam for a 2.
Yep.
Dustin climbs the ropes. Hager walks up the ring steps, distracts him. Sammy hits him. Pretty much hits Feast Your Eyes. That's Dijakovic's finish. Gets him a 2 count. Sammy goes up top. Dustin dumps him off, falls with a destroyer, and then hits final cut. They call it Final Reckoning now, but it's Final Cut for the win.
Yeah.
So afterwards, Sammy and Hager are walking out. Dustin grabs the mic.
Turn around.
Says, "Hey, turn around." Sammy does. And Dustin
no, not
goes,
you. I'm talking to Jericho's
B. And then Hager turns around. He's upset. And he says, "Hey, are you going to get in the ring? Or are you just going to collect the paycheck?"
Your MMA career is a failure, and you're failing here. And then he challenges to a match at Revolution, and he wants him to come into the ring and accept. And Hager starts to walk down, and then he turns around and he walks back
And
the
then
other
later
way.
on, announced it's going to happen.
Yeah, his in-ring debut. That's going to be a killer match. Way
Yeah,
to
man.
build this guy.
I know they've done a great job building up Hager.
Yeah, absolutely. Now everybody actually wants to see Jack Swagger wrestle. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's some magic right there.
I know.
My goodness gracious.
If AEW is go down in history is doing something right and important, well, right, it's building anticipation for a
Jack Swagger match.
Jake Hager match.
I know. Wow.
Right after that, Britt Baker interview. So first, Tony asked Britt to explain why she did what she did to Yuka Sakazaki in terms of getting that tooth out, and Britt's like, "Well, that's a stupid question.
Yeah.
I did that because Yuka had a bad tooth."
Yeah, she started explaining the ins
Great
and outs.
detail, yeah.
In great
About
detail,
abscess,
exactly.
yada yada. Says I was doing my duty as a dentist, as a medical professional to help
and
her.
I did it for free.
Yeah.
She did it for free.
And she says she probably didn't even have insurance.
Yeah, and then she says, "Hey, Tony, you know what? Everybody give it up for Tony because he's trying so hard and he's killing it right now."
That's really good.
In the most condescending
I know.
manner.
And then she's asked about the next match. What does she think about it? That'd be Nyla versus Riho. And she says, "Yeah, they're both really good, but they're both number 2 compared to me."
She's saying, "I'm seeing a lot of confusion, though, on these chubby Whataburger faces." Oh, that was funny.
That was really good.
That was such a well-delivered line. She is killing it these days.
Yeah,
it's
man.
absolutely crazy to turn around.
Yeah. And then she goes on, talks about her degrees, how smart she is, saying a bunch of stuff that I don't understand. Mm-hmm. And says it
2 A plans or something like that.
I don't know what that means.
I have no idea what that means.
I have no idea what that means. Says it's her division, and what she did last week was a statement. And then they're in Austin, so she throws up the hook 'em horns.
Yeah.
And then she brings it down.
Yeah.
Turns it upside down.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, is that an insult?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Dustin earlier did the hook 'em horns.
Yeah, but he did it up.
He did it up, and she did it up like, well, I can't do that. It's like this.
I'm sure somebody in chat will let
and then
us
like
know.
that, I guess it's bad.
This is probably bad. I mean, the only reason I know is because she did it and then people booed.
Yeah.
So apparently they booed JR when he came out too.
Because he's Boomer Sooner, man.
He's a Sooner.
That's Red River rivalry right there.
Exactly. So maybe this is something the Sooners do to get under the skin.
Maybe.
Let's see if anybody in chat has something here. Not yet. Horns down, guns up. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. Is that a Boomer Sooner thing?
Is that a Boomer Sooner thing? Yeah, El Chile Relleno. I should know how to say that because it's Lacey's favorite Mexican dish. It says, was there last night. Couldn't hear her promo at all after the Whataburger line. That crowd
so
was
much
great
heat.
last
And they were
night.
chanting Whataburger.
Yeah, that crowd was really something else.
Apparently, they got some sort of spicy ketchup at Whataburger. I know this because AJ Kirsch went there and tweeted all about the experience. Mm-hmm. So we're going to make our way to Texas. I guess Whataburger is going to be on the docket.
That's going to be the thing. They don't have
No Whataburgers here. No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I like spicy stuff, and I don't like ketchup, so put the two together. I should probably really enjoy it.
We'll give it a shot.
All right, next up.
Maybe there'll be a StarCast in Texas somewhere.
Well, it looks like there's not going to be any more StarCast, period.
We should tweet at them.
Hey, any more StarCast, period?
All right, I'll do it right now.
All right, fair enough. Next, Nyla Rose versus Riho for the AEW Women's Championship. This match was phenomenal. It was really good. Maybe it's a situation where I hope it's a situation where the women's division AEW is just like, hey, let's get back to basics and focus on putting on really good matches. And it doesn't have to be complicated stories. Tell well-motivated stories, put on really good matches, and people will get into it.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more than that. I think that you need a strong force of personality driving the division.
You definitely do. But
and I think we have that now.
On a week-by-week basis, I think if you have personalities you tell stories that people can relate to in a easy to understand manner that is motivated. Like everything's motivated.
And
You understand the motivation. The match is good. People be into it.
I think two of the things have been the two main issues has been that. Well, okay, I'll say three main issues have been this. Number one, they haven't really devoted enough time to the women's division. You've had like one match a week. I think that's been kind of an issue. You need one match, but then at least another segment dealing with something else in the women's division. Yeah. I think number two, the force of personality. I think Riho hasn't really been present, and she's terrific in the ring. The crowd loves her, but she's not really somebody who's a force of personality driving the division, and I think you need that.
Yeah.
And then I had a third one, and it was logical. You need to know what the pecking order is. And there were multiple weeks that they were going when it was this person's number one contender, then these two other people have a match that's also a number one contender match, and then this person gets involved in this. And there was it was like, who is supposed to be the number one contender here?
They seem like they're going to hopefully simplify things.
It couldn't get any worse.
Yes.
So hopefully that means it's going to get better. And last night I thought was a huge step in the right direction. You had this terrific Britt Baker thing. You had Nyla Rose winning, and then you had the picture-in-picture, which was a little great, wonderful bit of storytelling with Nyla Rose putting everybody in check, saying, "Good luck getting this from me."
Yeah.
So I think last night, 1 week, but they corrected a couple of their problems. Hopefully it'll keep on going.
Yeah, I hope so. And I don't know who's going to take that belt off Nyla. Maybe Statlander.
So I have curious. Any more StarCast events on the horizon? And I tagged StarCast.
Why don't we say in the future? Because on the horizon makes it sound like near future. I feel like in the future.
In the future.
That's more open-ended. Like it could be 20 years from now. And they're like, yeah, maybe in 2040.
I shouldn't put be specific here.
Date and year, please. Date, year, and location,
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be pushy. We had fun. We'll put that. Tweet.
Sure.
All right. Hopefully we'll have a report for you by the end of the show.
There you go. Anyway, so before the bell rings, Riho hits a running knee on Nyla Rose. Nyla shakes it off, sends her in the corner. Riho rolls her up, though, gets a 2. Nyla pins Riho. Riho matrix out of it, goes for a drop kick. Nyla brushes it off, goes for a suplex. Riho escapes, lands some strikes, head scissors, sends Nyla out of the ring. Follows with a top rope fun splash. Nyla catches her, though, hits a backbreaker, rams her into the apron, and then gets a table from under the ring. She's sending it up. And while she's doing that, Riho jumps on the table, takes like 2 steps, jumps off, and drop kicks Nyla into the timekeeper area. So she has advantage for a while. We go to commercial, picture-in-picture. Nyla turns the tables. We come back. Nyla goes for a choke slam. Riho escapes that, hits crucifix bomb, but she's too exhausted or beat up to make the cover. Riho sends Nyla into the ropes. She goes for a 619. Nyla blocks that. Riho eventually hits a drop kick, though. Gets a 2. Nyla responds with a Samoa drop. That gets her 2 count. She follows that with one of those Kenta knee drops where her opponent's draped over the ropes. Knee drop. A Death Valley driver off the second rope. That gets her 2 count. They trade some strikes. Nyla goes for a one-winged angel. Kind of sticking it to Kenny.
To Kenneth.
Riho escapes that, hits the Snapdragon suplex, then another one, goes for double knees in the corner, misses that. Nyla goes for a power bomb. Riho escapes that, hits a drop kick. Northern Light suplex, gets a 2. So Riho hits a coup de grace. Nyla kicks out at 1. She kind of like gets to the opposite corner, collapses. Riho hits another stomp, then another one, covers. Nyla gets her foot on the ropes. And then the finish saw Riho go for some double knees. Nyla hits her with a spear, followed with a nasty, nasty powerbomb to get the win.
Yeah. And it was terrific, too. Like, Nyla was obviously, like, the heel the entire time.
Yeah.
But the crowd cheered just because it was like, man.
It was a really good match.
It was a really terrific match. And I feel like this match alone, I always say you can do this in one match. Their chemistry was really, really good. And Nyla Rose really established herself as dominant, like kicking out at 1 on those double stomps.
Yeah,
that was terrific.
And also in defeat, Riho looked like $1 million.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she looked
great.
Yeah,
I mean the feats of strength that she was able to to accomplish. I mean, that Northern Lights suplex spot.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Crazy. After that, we have a Jericho interview. Calls Moxley trash a bunch.
So here's the beginning when Nyla Rose wins, and the picture-in-picture, Tony Khan goes for the most awkward hug. I didn't hear what happened there. That's terrific. And then so after that, she just she gives some words to Kenny, and he looks like defeated. And then she goes over to the rest of the women's division, sort of checks him a little bit, and then walks off.
Huh.
And Britt Baker's just sort of sitting there giving her side eye a little bit.
It's still on my DVR. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
So Jericho calls Mox trash a bunch, specifically for shoving the key in Santana's eye. But Jericho says, I found myself a bounty hunter to take out Mox next week should Mox beat Santana. And I was like, oh, that's intriguing. This intrigue. He goes, his name's Jeff Cobb.
Yeah. That was an interesting way to sort of drop that bomb on us.
Yeah.
Because it was like, honestly, okay, I'll be honest, completely honest, I didn't hear it. I was like half paying attention because I'm like, okay, well, he's not really going to say anything new here. He's certainly not going to drop like a massive, and apparently it's not actually a signing, according to Dave Meltzer. He didn't actually sign with AEW.
Yeah, PW or Pro Wrestling Sheet is saying the same thing, as is PW Insider, all saying it's just right now it's just for a few appearances.
So he's remaining a free agent.
Yes.
To, I guess, test various
I
waters.
think he's scheduled.
He still has a Ring of Honor match.
Yeah, tag team title match.
Yeah.
He's still apparently he's wrestling for New Japan too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's good for him.
Yeah, totally.
You can just keep on collecting paychecks from a bunch of different people.
Yeah, man.
That's great. And then just figure it out down the line. Maybe somebody will give you an even bigger offer.
Exactly.
Who knows?
But in the meantime, this is a cool spot. So Jericho goes, yeah, his name's Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, and you hear this audible gasp from the crowd.
I know. I was
like,
sitting there
what?
watching the kitchen table. I was like, really? Because, we'd heard that he was a free agent. Like, he didn't re-sign with Ring of Honor. He just wanted to do his own thing.
Yeah.
And, I guess it was kind of unexpected to hear him just
There was no rumors about this.
No, none.
Yeah.
And so after that, we get a brief little Jeff Cobb vignette.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see more Jeff later. Anyways, next before the MJF Jungle Boy match, Brandy comes down in commentary. It's a brief little interview about Cody, about the lashing bit last week.
Yeah, she played sort of traumatized by that fairly well.
Yeah, she didn't really talk a whole lot.
No, she didn't. I was sort of like curious as to what the deal was with her even being there, besides being an object for MJF to grab his
front
entire
area.
Yeah, D&Bs.
In her direction, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was
probably why she was there.
A good portion of it.
Yeah.
A good portion of it. Anyways, this match was fun. Some good back and forth start. Jungle Boy then sends MJF from the ring. MJF gets back in, offers his hand. Instead, Jungle Boy spits on his own hand and slaps MJF's away.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to make a deal there for a second, because that was the old-timey way of doing it. You spit in your hand, and you shake hands, and
MJF
a deal is
wanted
made.
to buy a gold claim from Jungle Boy, but no, apparently not.
Yes. Anyways, Jungle Boy strings together some offense. MJF turns the table, sends Jungle Boy into the barricade. We do a shot of Arn awkwardly watching the match backstage.
I love that's firmly wrestling kayfabe. That's universal.
I feel like that's a trope that should stay in WWE. And the MJF has the advantage through the commercial break. Starts working over. Jungle Boy's back. Come back from commercial. Jungle Boy, he has upper hand now, following a backdrop, sends MJF out of the ring after a clothesline. Hits 2 suicide dives, then a tope. Still selling his back. Jungle Boy hits a poison rana, gets 2. Tries to get MJF up for a powerbomb. Back gives out.
Yep.
MJF hits a super kick, Alabama slam. Follows like a crazy submission thing. I thought he was going to hit a vertebraker.
Mm-hmm.
But instead he had almost like a reverse gory special. Jungle Boy escapes, rolls up, MJF gets 2. Jungle Boy goes up top. MJF hits the ropes. Jungle Boy falls front area first on the top rope. I believe that's when MJF grabbed his front area in Brandy's direction.
Yeah.
He goes
talk about being with the real man.
Yeah, MJF goes for a superplex. Jungle Boy fights it off, hits a Liger bomb, gets a 2. Wardlow, I guess, who came down with MJF and then disappeared, comes back ringside.
Yeah.
MJF is over by the ropes. Wardlow gives him the ring. He clocks Jungle Boy with ring, tosses the ring out of there, hits double cross for the win. Then afterwards, Wardlow comes in, puts Jungle Boy on his shoulders, spins a couple times, and just helicopters him off.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Anyways, Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt run down, make the save. Wardlow and MJF run out. So, of course, next week we get Wardlow versus Cody in the cage match.
Yeah.
In Atlanta.
Should be a good one.
Yeah, man.
Should be a good one.
Next, this was awesome. Pac in the mean streets of Newcastle. Training at the gym.
Yeah.
Walking at night. It's all black and white. High contrast.
Yeah.
Gorgeously shot.
You've never been the same.
Yeah, it's so good.
You've never been the same since I choked you out.
Yeah. So he says, Kenny, you're on your way to mediocrity. Yeah, you've never been the same since I choked you out. And he understands, Kenny, I know all your problems are because of me. You know, you're not a very good friend anymore. And I know you're scared of me, Kenny. So I'm going to get this rubber match. Be one happy bastard. Get you in the rubber match, 30-minute Iron Man bout.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That'd be a good one.
That's in 2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks, yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. After that, we had our main event. Santana versus Mox, and in an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
So this is just them going after each other's eyes.
Yeah, I know. And I wasn't expecting booze to be involved in this match, and yet it was. So before it began, Jericho, Jake Hager. Sometime on the right note, Sammy and Hager next to each other.
It's pretty funny, yeah.
So I think, Sammy Hagar is pointing.
Sammy Hagar's there
in the inner circle.
Not surprising. I'm sure him and Jericho have crossed paths.
Probably drank some tequila before.
Yeah.
They're up in a luxury box. So Santana comes out first. Mox is doing his entrance through the crowd, and as Mox is trying to crawl over the barricade, Santana attacks him. So they brawl through the crowd, eventually backed by the barricade. Mox drops him over, and then they're brawling around brawling around ringside. Get in the ring finally. Bell rings. Match starts with Mox chopping Santana all over the place, clotheslines him out. Like they're in the ring for like 45 seconds until Mox knocks him out again. Goes up top, hits double axe handle on the floor. And then this spot was weird. So Santana's against the ring steps. This got to be a depth perception thing. You're only looking at one eye.
Yeah.
So Mox is supposed to be charging towards him where Santana moves, but looks like Mox just did this the ring step.
Yeah.
Wasn't even close.
It is probably a depth perception thing. It probably is.
And then so Santana gets Mox's face and tries to ram his eye into the edge, the corner of the ring steps.
Because try doing anything with just one eye, man. It sucks.
Oh, I know. I wear contacts. My eyes are getting tired of them, so sometimes I go a whole day without wearing a contact in my left eye.
Oh, dude, I don't know how.
So trust me, I understand. I know the depth perception issue.
Man, he's Mr. No Depth Perception.
I just compensate. I get used to it.
I'm sure you'd. Yeah, man, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Because you can't wear glasses anymore, can you?
Well, I could. Well, it's like my eyes are so bad, and I see what I assume is normally.
Yeah.
With contacts, as in there's no visual distortion.
Yeah.
Or at least that there is. I've gotten used to it. But I've put glasses on. It's like I'm looking through a fish
When was the
bowl.
last time you went to an optometrist to maybe say, hey, are there any solutions beyond LASIK?
Oh, I've tried that. Like every time I go and they say you should wear glasses, I'm like, well, this
When's
happened.
the last time you went?
A couple years ago.
Technology advances, man.
I understand.
You never know. Maybe something will be
But
able
like,
to help you.
I'll say, hey, this happens.
Can we start a GoFundMe for LASIK?
I don't know if I have astigmatisms, and I don't know if I've heard conflicting things whether it's possible if you have astigmatism.
Go consult somebody, man.
Well, last time I did that, they were like,
will be changed.
That particular eye doctor said, "Oh, you're getting up there in years. You're going to need bifocals. That's not a good idea."
Man, you should have freaking dropped that guy with a feast your eyes.
But no, it's
appropriately titled.
It's something on the docket to do. Yes.
You're gonna need. How old did he think you were? You're gonna need bifocals soon.
Well, he had my stuff. I'm sure he realized in my early 40s.
I don't know, man. Maybe his eyes weren't so good.
Maybe
bifocals. When you're 60.
It depends on your eyes. I guess your eyes can
what the heck?
change. I don't know. Anyways, so Santana tries to ram Mox's face in the corner of the ring steps. Mox fights that off, and Santana sends Mox. They get back to the ring. Santana sends Mox out, hits a wrecking ball drop kick, go to commercial, come back. Santana has the advantage throughout. Come back from the break. Mox fights out of the situation, drops Santana with some clotheslines, hits backslides. Santana kicks out. Mox transitions right into a Fujiwara armbar. Santana escapes that, but Mox hits a German suplex. Santana hits his great rolling cutter for a 2, follows out with a pile driver. We still don't see enough pile drivers in AEW.
True.
2 count. Santana goes up top, goes for a frog splash. Mox gets his knees up. Mox and Santana into Ortiz, who at that point had gotten on the apron. Rolls him up, gets a 2. Santana hits a nice looking super kick. Mox drops him with the clothesline. That's actually went over a little bit. The show did. I think it went over by like 2 minutes last night.
Yeah.
So Mox goes up top. Ortiz is on the apron, spits some stuff in his eyes, and we find out moments later that he had a flask. It was booze. Spit some booze in his eyes. So you got did I mention here where? No, because I think before this actually, Mox like stuck his thumb in Santana's eye.
Yeah.
So you got Santana stumbling around with one good eye, Mox stumbling around with no good eyes, and so it was very much a blindfold match type situation where they're
feeling around,
and Mox is like swinging wildly, and then eventually he just kind of hits a paradigm shift for the win.
Yeah.
Ortiz is in immediately attacking him. Digs his thumbs in Mox's eyes. Hager's in. Sammy's in. Jericho makes his way down to continue the beat down. Sammy hits a 630. Oh, Jericho's using the belt on Mox. Jericho hits a Judas effect, and Jericho's like, come on, get out here.
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb is there.
Yeah, man.
He hits the ring, tour of the islands for Mox.
Such a fun move.
Yeah,
it's great. So, yeah, Jeff Cobb. Will he be officially part of Inner Circle? I don't know. Because he's his hired mercenary.
Yeah.
That's his title, I guess. Hired mercenary.
He's there for the paycheck.
He's there for the paycheck. I'm not sure if that includes a T-shirt along with the paycheck, but certainly, that's a scary man right there.
Yeah.
I mean, beyond the fact that he seems like a really nice guy. Everybody says he's super nice.
Yeah.
But for the purposes of kayfabe,
he used to live.
I know.
Here in the region.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He used to wrestle for SPW.
I know.
Quite a bit.
We've seen him live here.
Yeah, we saw him against Royce Isaac. He had a match.
Yeah, that's right. Man.
A few years back.
We've seen all sorts of luminaries of the independent scene these days. NWA's own.
Yep.
Royce
Let's
Isaac.
answer some questions. Nick C says, got my tickets for Double or Nothing this morning. Awesome.
Good.
Simon Bronson, I love how annoyingly bad MJF's theme is.
Isn't it?
Isn't it YouTube stock music?
I read somewhere that it was like YouTube stock music. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's cheesy. Let's see here. Hafty, what will it take before the Inner Circle is on par with the other great factions of history? Will they win all the gold?
No.
No, they're gonna.
Jericho's gonna lose that belt at Revolution.
Yeah, I mean that's actually a good question. Like if Jericho does take a break after Revolution, if he's gonna go on tour or whatever, what'll then happen to the Inner Circle? Will they scatter to the winds?
I don't know. Or will someone within the ranks already kind of step up?
I have some faith that it'll continue in some form, or at least they'll have a plan, and it won't just like wither away.
I know. Thomas Dunnigan, will Hangman Page be a kayfabe recovering alcoholic in 2020, or could this be a years-long thread to the Hangman character? I mean, it's getting them over, and as long as they can find creative ways to implement this whole Hangman likes. Do you see his lower third for he and Kenny? It said days sober, and I think it was like 13,000 days for Kenny.
Oh, that's
and 0
funny.
for Page.
That is funny. That's really good. I like that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I didn't notice it live either. I saw it on Twitter.
I hope that they don't go too far with like the idea of him being alcoholic.
No, but I mean, obviously that aspect of the character where he takes his business seriously. He wrestles his match.
Yeah.
As soon as the match is over, he goes to the crowd, grabs a beer, and walks with the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's just that even, that's endearing.
Yeah, I know. You can get
it
a
makes
guy
him.
over with that.
He's very much an everyman in that
Once
respect.
you start taking lightly the idea of alcoholism,
yeah,
then you start getting into problems where it's like, man, I don't really want to take this direction with the character, because then you end up with like what was it? Was it Animal? One of the Legion of Doom on the top of the Tron, and he was like drunk or whatever, and then he falls off.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go in that direction with Hangman Page. I think you can keep it endearing.
Yeah.
Stone cold level of drinking.
Yeah.
Kayfabe, anyways.
Yeah. Tommy Cat, Jeff Cobb is all elite. Will this be the best signing of 2020? Well, he hasn't apparently officially signed yet.
Well, okay, so that dovetails into Brian Luckman's question.
Brian Luckman.
Is it the best idea for Cobb to be in such a big story if he had not signed a full deal with AEW? I would imagine that he's there for a number of appearances. They understand what that entails, and they're not going to, risk something wonky happening there.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody has their appropriate number of Jeff Cobb, from all indications, is always a professional guy and he's a nice guy. I'm sure that that they have it figured out properly. It's not like WWE where weird stuff happens.
Yeah. Steve Klain, hey friendos, great AEW show. Do you think Cobb would be the perfect guy to hold AEW's first mid-card title? They got a lot of guys who'd be perfect to hold that first mid-card title.
A lot of people there, man. I still think it's Darby Allin.
Dan Boss, do you think Cobb should be fast-tracked to the top or stay towards the mid-card when that belt comes? I don't know. It's hard to say. If he's just going to be stick around, for a few weeks. I
think it'd be exclusively used for this story, unless he were actually to sign a deal, then they can start talking about long-term plans for him. But I think that he's going to be involved in this story for right now.
Wolfpack for life. Why are there so many giant brawls in wrestling today? Because usually they're a lot of fun.
Brawls are fun, man.
Usually they're a lot of fun. Jesse Starr, how closely do you guys follow the AEW rankings? I tend to ignore them completely because the only ones that seem to make logical sense to me are the tag team rankings. So I don't pay them much mind.
I don't pay them attention. Sometimes just to clown around, we'll look at the records.
Yeah.
If I'm like, why is this guy in a match or whatever? I'll look at records, but I have no idea what the rankings are.
Mm-hmm. Charles Hubbard, who should Nyla Rose feud with first? I feel like ultimately the money feud is going to be her and Statlander.
Yeah. What I would probably do if I was in their situation right now, if I was like a wrestling booker, I would probably just sort of feel out who she's got good chemistry with. It's like, yeah, Statlander's great.
But I'm saying that's down the line. That's not soon.
Yeah. I don't know. She'll probably go on a tear through, some people. I don't know.
We've already seen her. Didn't she put Shanna through a table? We haven't seen Shanna on TV in forever.
No,
she was good.
Haven't. Yeah.
So maybe Shanna's like, hey, you put me through table. I got a problem with you. I challenge you.
Yeah.
Put title on the line too. That could be a good match.
I mean, they have a couple of really strong contenders for top face, like Statlander, obviously. Sheeta.
She's great.
Yeah, she's fantastic. So yeah.
Andrew Jocelyn, do you guys hear that Chase Owens was at the show?
I saw that on Twitter.
Me too.
Well, because he tweeted out, hey, Kenny, thanks for letting me be here.
I know.
It was a really fantastic show. What do you think that was about? What kind of weird power play is that from Chase Owens?
Well, he's already signed a new deal. There's no power plays. Why wouldn't see some friends he hasn't seen in a while?
Yeah. All right.
He said, how would you book him in AEW? Well, he'd be the crown jewel of AEW.
He'd be the crown jewel of AEW.
Yeah.
That's what he'd be.
Yeah. Exactly.
Take that for however you will.
Exactly. Adrian C., when Jericho mentioned Cobb's names, you could actually hear a response from the crowd in the arena. I know, it was like an audible gasp.
It was like a what?
Given that, they have to book him stronger than the Butcher and the Blade, Dark Order, right? He has to go over Mox somehow next week, or am I wrong? I don't know if he has to go over. I don't know if anybody's going to be winning that match. That's going to end in like a schmoz.
I think you're right. That has to end in a yeah.
That's got to be a wonk finish.
It's got to be a wonk finish.
Where the whole point of that is not so much for Cobb to win.
It's to soften that crowd. Mox, yeah, big time. Stack the deck against him.
Because even that, though, there's still another week before the go-home.
It's got to be...
There's 2 more episodes of Dynamite before
It's got to... And it has to be, under no pretense is Cobb even trying to wrestle a match, It's like, I'm here to do one thing. Doesn't matter what the match is. I'm here to just, destroy
soften
this
him
guy.
up, yeah. Doc Hensla, Cody can't beat MJF at Revolution, right? They have to book MJF strong at the pay-per-view to get him over as a top heel. Yeah, MJF totally has to win.
MJF is totally going to win.
In the most underhanded way possible. He has to win.
You know what I hope they do though? Underhanded, yeah, but I want the cheating. I'm not cheating. I want it to be all psychological.
Yeah,
like we saw this week with him grabbing his D and B's.
Yeah. His whole package, yes.
His entire soul of his genitals and aiming it at Brandy. It's got to be something like that where he's able to finally break Cody. Like Cody has been resilient this whole time. The lashes, the cage match, Wardlow, all that stuff. But then MJF finds a way during the match. And here's the thing. Cody's the best at telling those stories. Mm-hmm. MJF's got to find a way to break Cody with the match somehow. I don't know how. I don't know how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Cody's great at it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
The show is looking to be stacked.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be
a great
show. So, that's it for the show.
Yes.
$5 and up patrons, stay tuned. YouTube channel members, stay tuned. Keep an eye on the community tab. Keep an eye on your Patreon notifications, your emails, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll be back
because
shortly.
in moments, we're going to go live. We're going to power rank Jeff Cobb dream matches.
Yeah.
And then what else do we say we're going to power rank? There's something else.
You're asking the wrong dude today, man.
Crap.
I thought I ordered 3 tacos today. How many did I get?
2. And then
Entirely possible. That was my own doing.
maybe somebody in chat will remember what we said we're going to power
I
rank.
guess we should probably write these things down.
Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.